Have you ever really thought about the miracles, the signs that you read about in the Gospel of John? A lot of us think of them as these big, flashy proofs of power. But what if there's something more? What if they're not just about something that happened 2,000 years ago, but about what's happening in your life right now? Well, today we're going to dig into that and explore what these signs truly reveal.
So let's start with a basic question. What is a sign for? Think about a signpost you see on the highway. What's its job? It points you to something, right? It tells you, hey, your destination is 50 miles that way, or your exit is coming up. It's just a guide to a place you haven't gotten to yet.
Okay, and this is where everything starts to get really interesting. A typical signpost, like we see on the left, points to a destination that's, well, it's far away. But a Jesus sign, it does the exact opposite. It doesn't point to something way off in the distance. It reveals someone who is already here. It kind of flips the whole idea on its head. It's the destination finding you.
And this idea of signs pointing to something far off isn't new at all. In a lot of ancient philosophies, like Gnosticism, the physical world we live in was seen as a trap, something you needed to escape. So for them, a sign was just a clue, a little breadcrumb pointing the way out of our messy reality and towards some remote, purely spiritual world.
So that brings us to the big question, doesn't it? When Jesus performs these incredible signs, is he just giving us another signpost pointing to a faraway God? Is it just an escape route from our world? Or is something else going on entirely?
To answer that, we have to completely redefine what we mean by a sign. And the key to unlocking all of this is a really powerful concept called the Immanuel principle.
Immanuel. It's a Hebrew name, and it literally means God with us. Not God is over there, not God is somewhere up in the heavens, but God right here, right now, in the middle of everything, with us. And that one idea, that one word, it changes everything.
Check out this quote. It explains it perfectly. The signs aren't directions for us to go find a distant God. They are the traces of love left behind where God has come to find us. It's like seeing footprints in the sand that prove someone has already arrived.
So here's the bottom line. Every single sign we see in the Gospel of John boils down to this one totally radical message. It's not God is waiting for you somewhere else. It's Jesus saying directly and personally, I am here with you now.
All right, so that's the big idea, the principle. But what does Immanuel actually look like when the rubber meets the road? Let's jump into a couple of really famous stories and see these traces of love in action.
Okay, so first up, the wedding at Cana. Picture this. It's a huge celebration, and they run out of wine. Now, this isn't just a minor inconvenience. In that culture, this is a total disaster. It's public shame. The joy, the very heart of the celebration has just evaporated.
So what happens? Jesus doesn't stand up and give a lecture about planning better. He doesn't point them to some future hope. No, he steps right into their moment of lack, their crisis, and turns water into wine. The sign isn't about the magic trick. It's a declaration that God, the source of all joy, is right there with them, ready to satisfy their deepest needs the moment they run dry. That right there is Immanuel.
Now let's take another case. The man who had been paralyzed for 38 years. Can you even imagine that? A life completely defined by what you can't do. A life of total helplessness, just trapped by your physical condition year after year.
And just like at the wedding, Jesus doesn't point to some far-off solution. He steps right into that man's suffering. He shows up with mercy, with compassion, and he heals him. The message is just crystal clear. God isn't distant from our pain. He is here, present, and actively working with compassion right in the middle of our suffering.
So we can see God's presence in these incredible historical moments. But look, these stories happened a long, long time ago. So how does that history become a living, breathing reality for you and for me today?
Well, this lays out the how perfectly. It all starts with the signs Jesus did on earth. Then it moves to the ultimate sign, the biggest one of all, his resurrection and ascension. But it doesn't stop there, and this is the key. The promise is kept when the Holy Spirit arrives, and that is how Immanuel becomes our reality today. It's what allows Jesus to be with all of us, transcending time and space, right here, right now.
And this is so important to get. This message of God with us was not just for a specific group of people 2,000 years ago. It's not just a story about them.
Because of the Holy Spirit, that message is for you, here, now.
And that brings us to our final, and maybe the most powerful point of this whole thing, the personal invitation of Immanuel.
This is really the heart of it all, isn't it? When we read these stories, we're not just studying ancient history. We're actually being invited to hear that same voice speak directly into whatever we're going through. Now, here, I am with you.
And you know, when we really start to grab hold of that, when we live our everyday lives with this quiet confidence that God is actively present with us, something amazing starts to happen. Our own lives begin to become a living sign. A sign that doesn't point to a distant God, but to the living, present reality of Jesus for everyone we meet.
And so that's the thought I want to leave you with. If the whole point of every one of Jesus' signs is to show that God is present, then how can your life, the way you show joy, the way you offer compassion, the peace you have, how can your life become a sign that points other people to a God who isn't far away at all, but is already and truly here?